Hi folks, I should say friends, new friends, old friends, and relatives from away. On this gloriously sunny, wintry day that I'm looking over at my battery monitor showing me that we're collecting, which is glorious to see. It's a beautiful blue sky, and even the snow that's covered everywhere. Maybe I'll show you one little round, just so you can see how beautiful and bright it is as the white, pure white snow reflects the lights back up, brightness back up. And we're at about, I would say about 30%. Our batteries are about 30% full and charging. Today is a bit of a behind the scenes video. It's been a question of what all is on this enormous shelf behind me, as I sometimes do a video from that side and you can see it behind me, and I don't mind sharing with you. It's nothing earth-shattering, no big secrets, not really an apothecary, though I wouldn't mind having one day. So without further ado, I'm going to somehow get them, read them, or maybe bring them over to you so maybe you can take a closer look, if that makes sense. All right, let's begin. Let me just go get my red stool. You know me, I like all my colors, especially in the winter. We need colors. Primary colors are even better. I'm thinking I'll probably do some dusting too while I'm up there. So let's start from this end. Here we have, it says, excuse me, mullein leaf. Huh. That doesn't make sense, does it? Mullein leaf. Probably mislabeled, because mullein leaf is, maybe it isn't. I'll show you. What it is that that's like nature's toilet paper. It's really velvety, and the leaves are really velvety and beautiful and soft. So if you're ever caught somewhere, but the dry leaves of it, I guess you can make tea out of, or I haven't really looked into that, but I was surprised to see it. Something that we've used already. This one's empty. Also empty. Well, why are they here? I guess we've used what was in there. Also empty. Huh. They're waiting to get filled up. All right, here's something that's got contents. Glasses. It says it's blackberry. It's blackberry jam. I mean, it's a bit runnier than you would think, but because we didn't use pectin, and because we can also use this as a syrup of some sort, and sort of an infusion into drinks, same thing. These blackberries are from our own blackberry patch. I have a video on that. When just on the, I would have 1, 2, 3, at least 3 patches, and there's a video on that, how I'm clearing it and getting it ready for next year. And then because this year I didn't have a camera to shoot when I was harvesting them, Unfortunately, you didn't see it, but next year, now that I have this camera, I will show you where they are with the clusters and beautiful, beautiful, intricate little white flowers clusters, and they're really easy to harvest. The problem with them is that the canes of blackberries have these sort of a hook, they hook on you, and I have so many scratches. When I go into town, people kind of look at me, what's going on with this guy? Anyway, another empty jar. Well, you can see we're going through some stuff. Winter's coming, and this one doesn't have a label, but don't learn from this. This, always label your stuff. But I know what this is. This is choke cherries, and this can be used as either as an infuse, or you can drink it as a sort of a juice. It's just fermenting in there. It's not a problem, but it's very recognizable. Whoa, what's in here? Huh? Maybe a secret. Funny, it says June 7th, 2023. Doesn't, oh, it's fur. Okay, as in Douglas fir. Can you see that? Let me bring it closer to you. But I don't understand why it was in another jar. Maybe it's light sensitive. A lot of things are light sensitive, but look at this honey, gorgeous honey color. I don't want to open it just in case it's supposed to be sealed. But this, I'm guessing, this also has some honey in it. I hope you can see the color of it. I don't. Well, I'll take it over there in the sun, maybe as the sun goes through it. You can do this with pine. Pine is very high in pine needles, very high in vitamin C. If you're ever caught somewhere. Sun, where are you? Oh, can you see? That's too low. Can you see now? I hope. Anyway, so I'll put this back in here. And the lid for it. And come winter, when you need natural vitamin C, this one's finished too, comes in handy. Oh, this is a vinegar, apple cider vinegar. And let me bring it closer. We have a lot of wild apple trees. What's a lot of? Something like 60. And can you see? And the way to make this is you get your apples. We have an apple press in the gathering place. There's a video on that too. You can go have a look. And the way it works is that you take your apples, you quarter them or halve them or whatever, and if you put them through the apple press, and not the press part, but there's a mulcher that just chops them up, and then you squeeze them through the press, the winding press, and then there's juice. But what do you do with the pulp? Well, you can put that in the compost, as I have it. There's another video on that, at least pictures of it. But then, or you can, what you can do is add water to that pulp and sugar, and you just leave it. This one's about 5-6 years old. Apple cider vinegar is really good for you. I mean, look at the color. There's no preservatives or anything. And it's not gone moldy or anything. I mean, I don't know what can grow in that sort of an acidic thing. It's really good for digestion or whatever. So I remember somebody was saying to me, I think, wouldn't you make more money from apple trees than apple cider? Or wild apple, because wild apples are not necessarily sweet, they're like tangy or sour. Well, the answer is I like tangy more than sweet. And when you make, actually try this. Go to your health food store or aisle or whatever, and if you can find a jug of apple cider versus a jug of apple vinegar, you'll see how much more expensive apple cider vinegar is than regular apple cider. It's just age longer and it's better for you. But anyway, and these trees that we have, they vary in different ages. And one day, if I ever have the manpower, I'd like to graft them. And if you know what grafting is, and you can say you go and buy your Honeycrisp is a big thing right now. So you go and buy your Honeycrisp. So you can't plant the seeds of the apples that you like. So you can only graft them. But grafting means that you take a branch of a tree, the apple you like branch of that tree, and make an incision, cut a little piece into the apple tree that you have. And anyway, look up grafting. It gets a bit complicated, but I'm not, or maybe not, I'm not very good at explaining. And then after a while, a year or two or whatever, that branch starts producing that particular apple that you like, be it Granny Smith, Golden Delicious, whatever, Honeycrisp. And that's how you get you can get one tree to produce 6 different kinds of apples, for instance. Anyway, this is an apple cider, gorgeous apple cider vinegar. Put this back up. Here, what do I have here? I need glasses to read. This one's dill, one of my favorite herbs. Use it in my potatoes. Use it in my potato salads, potato soups. Yeah. Oh, not much left. Oh no. Oh no. But anyway, this was full. We dry it. When you dry your herbs, don't leave them in the sun to dry. Some people are now learning about solar dehydrators. They're not for herbs. Herbs are very heat and light sensitive. So when you harvest your dill, oregano, mint, basil, whatever, you bring them inside your house. You dry them inside your house. They don't need to be in direct sun. It's hot enough in the summer. Inside they dry slowly, and maybe not even slowly, depends on how warm your house is, out of the direct sun. They're very light sensitive. Here we have arugula. If any of you know what arugula is, a bit of a peppery. I mean, to you right now, when it's dry, everything will look the same. But this is why you can smell it though. This is why you need to label everything, and it's important to, when you also label what it is, also the date that you harvested it. And someone like me, and after a while you too, can tell how old something is because it changes its color, its vibrancy, and so it goes from a darker green to lighter green, and it's not garbage. You can still either make tea out of it for your plants, or you can put them in your compost, or if you have chickens, you can give them to your chickens, or whatever other animal you have. What do we have here? Raspberry leaf. So raspberry leaf, I'll bring them to you, are so good for so many things. Ladies, cramps, you just go and look for your own, do your own search. Honestly, I don't want to make any. Wait a minute. Try to not crush them as much as you can. You just steep these in hot water. Steeping can take however long that you want it to, and gorgeous color once they're ready to drink. You can drink them with honey or just straight. But when you trick, whatever, is that when you go to harvest them, like everything else, like dandelions, whatever, it's best if you can pick these in the spring. They're the most potent then. And also the leaves that are sort of a baby, tender, smaller leaves, as opposed to big, established ones. But, experiment. See what works for you, but it's really good. Same for these. When the colors start to change, you'll know it's time. What do we have here? We have dried celery. It says dried celery. Is it lovage? No, it's celery. Smells like celery. Well, I mean, you know what celery looks like. So these are just the leaves of it. Good to sprinkle on your soup or anything that lovage would go well with. Lovage from the same family. It smells really good. Celery is really potent, really good for you as a vegetable too. So let me put these back. And that's celery. Here we have glasses. Sage. Sage is often associated with health, good health. If you can see, when you move into a new place, for ceremonial, you could even cook with these, like in your stews or even bake. But sometimes they make a smudge, and when you're trying to deodorize air or cleanse bad energy or rid of bad energy, so you wrap these. If you go to some of those health food stores, whatever, you'll see them wrapped, the big leaves wrapped in like a little with twine into like a little bundle that people light, and then light it, but then they put it out so that only the smoke's coming out, and then they go around the house or the structure with it to cleanse it. Sage, these are all from our own property around where, garden. We grow our own. Ooh, something heavy. Oh, wait a minute, something in it. Something. Oh, okay, here's something interesting. Balsam poplar. Shouldn't open it, but this is. Smells really good. So look, balsam poplar is, you might have heard, aspen. Aspen is another name for it. Trembling poplar is another name for it. So in springtime, the buds are really juicy and like you just want to eat them raw, and you can. Deer would love it. A lot of things. It's very healthy for you. And so this might be either that alone or mixed with honey to make wax out of, or you can make tea out of. It smells really good. You can't smell it. And this jar is in the prettiest jar. Just something we had. After a while, your jars fill up in the summertime. Also, maybe heat sensitive. That's why it's in here. Your jars fill up in the summertime or springtime when you're harvesting, and then around this time, they get empty. Oh, yarrow. Yarrow. And you know what? I really don't want to say. You go ahead and do your own search on what their herbal benefits and medicinal benefits are. But they're very common. When you go to pick these, if you don't grow your own, like ours, in organic and not in the city, near a city, you make sure that they're really not near the road. Anything that you harvest, so the particulates aren't landing on them. This might be the last year for this one. It's getting kind of a yellow, but they're already not very vibrant anyway in color, so maybe not. Maybe not. So that's yarrow. Back on the shelf. Did I say this? Sage. It's a pretty jar. had fig jam in it. Just saved it for something pretty to go in it. So I don't want to lose it. That's what we bake our sourdough bread in. Just a cast iron, gorgeous. You know me in colors by now. Down here we have our fruits, lemons, fresh lemons. Anytime you can get fresh lemons is always better than bottles, but not always available. Pineapple signify hospitality. We're having a gathering here on the 25th, not of December, not for any religious reasons, as I don't think anyone coming on that day is religious anyway. Anyway, just a neighborhood gathering here, potluck. Oh, here's something I just noticed. Nettle. Let me bring it. Nettle. Nettle, as in stinging nettle. Why am I showing you the thing? Is good for your allergies and really high in iron. You steep this and it becomes this glorious, and it smells like the meadow. This glorious green, dark green, potent, like minty, dark minty color, that like this sort of color, maybe even darker than this green, and it's amazing. And you should try it one time if you don't want to dry your own. Just one time, if you're on antihistamines or whatever, try this one time during your allergy seasons. I think you'll benefit from it. But again, I really don't want to say, I really shouldn't have even said that. I want you to discover for yourself. I think I went as far as here. But while I'm here, let me do this. There's a flower. I'll bring it. Just a hint of something. Can't remember the name of it. It's good for teas, just like most other things. But I really shouldn't say what you should use these for, because that's not what this show is about. You asked me what I have here, and I'm just showing you what I have, what's on these shelves. And this is fire cider. Fire cider. How can I explain fire cider? It's a combination of things, and spicy. And maybe if you look it up, you'll see how to make it and what it's good for. But again, I'm just mentioning to you telling you what's on this shelf. This is rose hip syrup. Rose hips are, well, you know what? They're not from rose bushes. Rose hips, they have a beautiful pink petals. They're about maybe this big, but there's a whole bunch of them, and they're very fragrant, and usually pink is the one I can think of. But their main thing is the hips, the bulb of it, that really red, really potent, high in vitamin C. That's the thing that's the most important. And mixing that with honey, you can make a really good jam. Woo! Jam out of, what is this? Gorgeous. This is a cactus flower. Oh, it smells so good. I have some Christmas cactuses, and when the leaves dry and fall down, I guess we saved this. I don't really know why. Maybe, I'm sure everything has a use. That's why it came off. This lid doesn't even fit this thing. I have to find the right lid for it. Peppers. What does it say? I can't read it. But summer 23. I'm not a fan of spicy peppers, but I'll show you this. For those who are, you can ground them. They don't even really grow in our zone. More zones of 6 and higher. What was that? Here we have lemon leaf. Yeah, well, you know what they are. They're very any citrus tree, bush, whatever leaf are very waxy and hard and tough, and they once dry they keep well. What you can use them for is just you can maybe rehydrate them in tea, or just for if you're say like at this time of year in the summertime, in the wintertime, if your house is you need some freshness or scent in it, you can just like you would with cinnamon, put some on in your water and on your stove. Our stove's always on because it's a wood-fired stove. And like with anything, if you can keep your herbs in darker jars, the better, because a lot of things are heat sensitive. Is there a label here? No, I didn't think so. Well, let me see if I can guess what it is. Oh, yeah, these are chanterelle mushrooms, unmistakable. So I didn't even, but I don't know why there's no date written on them. Chanterelle mushrooms, we're trying to grow them, and we're trying to grow all of our mushrooms if we can one day. I just haven't had a chance. It's just mostly me on my own trying to grow these things, but they're not easy. We've to spread because we have patches where it's dark, and especially on the north side. And if you try to maybe inoculate or start maybe from fresh or from somewhere else, you just spread them, and they just like the dark moisture air, and they thrive there. You don't even have to do anything after that to them. Okay. This is just like a chutney. Onions, cucumbers, red peppers, turmeric, sugar, mustard seed, celery seed, vinegar. All right. You can do this, and preserves like this will last a long time. But once you open them, they have to be refrigerated. Just like you know this already. Most other things, they don't last as long. Whoa. What is in here? Ooh, red peppers. Let's not touch them. So I showed you those orange peppers, hot peppers. These are red peppers. Not something that I care for. Let's go up, huh? Oh, way up. We're going way up. The third shelf. There we have. Okay. I wanted to, when we first came here, to start a vineyard and make wine out of berries, all berries. And this one is made out of choke cherries. You can also make port out of them, but this might be port too, not sure. And then date, this one's a 21, that one's a 21, August 21, also August 21. Must have made them at the same time. Don't know if I can show you if there's any sun anywhere bright. You can see a gorgeous color. The same color as a port wood or light red wine wood. Choke cherry, August 14th, 21. So these were all done pretty much the same time. And basically just whatever choke cherries, black currants, blackberries, whatever you're making in matter of with some sugar and time. Time as in you have to wait, not the herb. Here we have, no, just the date, July 20th, 24. And I'm guessing it's blackberry because it's so thick. And blackcurrant. Blackcurrants don't need pectin. It's probably the only thing that doesn't need pectin. And they're really probably the highest in antioxidants of anything. Same thing. Same thing. What is that? Oh, let me come closer, but I don't want to open it. So this is comfrey. Comfrey is good for a lot of things, but it's also nitrogen fixing. But look at the green. Oh, sorry, the green color of that. So this is just comfrey in olive oil, and then when this is lived in this jar long enough, you take this out and you add reduce it and with some beeswax, and when it hardens enough, actually I'll show you some as we're working on our way in those boxes. Comfrey is good for back aches, muscle aches, back aches, whatever kind of aches. That's what this is. Oh, there's stuff behind it that I need to get up on to tell you about. Oh, excuse me. Ooh, more chili peppers. Again, also not grown in our zone, but here you can grow it in a greenhouse. Okay, if you want to see it, I'll bring it closer. But you all know what chili peppers look like. Red hot chili peppers. Boy, not a fan of anything spicy. But they should last a long time, because what can hurt chili peppers? Here in this old jar, antique jar from my antique shop days, we have comfrey roots. Comfrey roots. So I showed you the comfrey leaves in there, and these are the comfrey roots. These you can make teas out of, and they look like almost like vanilla beans, but very hard. Smell sort of a chocolatey, like a flavored chocolate scent to them, if that makes sense. More comfrey roots. Maybe I should have brought this to you. It's easier to see. Let me dust this. Can you see? Yeah, same scent. I think this is either newer or older. Very hard roots. Maybe you can see it against my shirt. All right. This here is sunflower. So to make these salves and lotions and natural ointments that we make. So in this case, this is sunflower. I don't want to open it because it's sealed. Sunflower seeds, and right now it's just sunflower seeds, sunflower petals, and olive oil, organic olive oil, and it just sits there until you're ready to mix it with beeswax, and then you can spread it. So now, even when you're done, you don't use the actual petals, or you can you can you don't have to press it. You just let it drain, and when it's done, you can either put the petals in if you're making soap making, and because it's already infused with olive oil, or you can give it to your chickens to eat. Makes their eggs more yellow too, just as our calendula, same calendula oil, when we make that, that's the same thing. This jar is blackcurrant wine. So blackcurrant wine, well, it's the blackcurrant that we've had with sugar, and it's fermented, not added anything else to it, and you can see the consistency of it, and there's nothing else in it, just 2 ingredients. And well, 3 if you include time. You have to wait. All right. Why aren't you labeled? But I can tell that it's blackcurrant because it's so thick, and like I mentioned earlier, it doesn't need pectin. Oh, here's one of my favorites. Wow. I think any baked good needs this, could use this. So this is grade B or second grade, whatever, Madagascar vanilla beans. Now, we put this in there in 2022, February 16, 2022. And if you can get a decent vodka, like a higher alcohol content vodka, more higher proof. Anyway, so second grade Madagascar vanilla beans are the most expensive, but not, this isn't this isn't grade A. And although interesting fact is that although vanilla beans grow best in Madagascar, they're not native to it. Originally, they're from Mexico. Problem is that they've been degraded or they've been watered down or whatever, so they're not as good in Mexico, the quality. So this was, in fact, I would even say we didn't put enough vanilla beans in there, pods. So you put them in there and you add your alcohol and you just wait. So this is since 22, but I think it should have been a little bit darker, and next time we'll put more in it. But I love vanilla in anything. Oh yeah. Okay, so down here, glasses. Yeah. When it's this thick, I know immediately it's blackcurrant. See, it doesn't even say blackcurrant. It just says the date, July 20th, 24. That's this year, and it's so thick, doesn't budge. Really, the highest in antioxidants. So now this is runny, not as thick. This is more of a jam consistency, and this is blackberry. Blackberries are the second highest. I think even anything black is higher than anything that's blue. So blueberries, haskaps, they're the third highest in antioxidants. Same thing. Same thing. Same batch. Just needed to be dusted. Anything in here? Oh, yeah. Pumpkin seeds for next year. So as part of your seed saving, anytime you plant anything, folks, I mean, apocalypse, whatever aside, saves or let some things go to seed, like cucumbers, pumpkins, whatever, and you save those seeds. And not only that, you don't have to buy it the next year, and you choose the ones of the pumpkins or the cucumbers, whatever that you, or zucchini, whatever that you like the look of and shape of, whatever, the most resistant to anything, and you save those and you dry them and you use them next year. You plant them next year. I'm not trying to be cheap. I'm just trying to talk. I'm talking about seed saving for whatever, beans. These are just beans. You know what beans look like. This one is called French beans. This one's empty now, whatever it was in there. This one's empty now, but it did say chamomile. And that grows, really in many places. So you just dry it inside again, out of the direct heat, direct sun, and will save better. Sweet pepper seeds. I think you know what sweet pepper seeds look like, but I'll show you. I mean, any pepper that you open, you'll see. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, so you like orange, red, yellow, green, you save them, and next year you plant them. This one's also pepper seeds. Should have probably said what color. You know, when you're busy in the summertime, you run around doing all kinds of things, and you're just exhausted with the heat exhaustion too. Eucalyptus. Sort of a lavender color. Comfrey. Okay. Smells good. So remember that comfrey that I showed you earlier in olive oil, that organic olive oil. So this is what it looks like when it's finished. This is a finished product. It has a bit of a green tinge to it, as opposed to here's my what I use, my go-to before I leave the house every day, either to town or working outside in the winter. So this is calendula. It smells different too, in this beautiful sort of a yellow color. But whereas this one, you can't tell it's in a dark bottle, but this has a green tinge, where this has a yellow tinge to it. Obviously, because comfrey has green leaves, whereas you're using calendula, it's got yellow leaves. Doesn't say what it is, but it's blackberry. I can see it's a bit runny. Doesn't say what it is, but I think this one's black currant, because it's feeling. Oh, this one's blackberry, whereas that was black currant. That might have been blackberry, but we reduced it more, so that it's thicker now. Yeah, I think it's blackberry, but it's been reduced more. Here we have peppercorn, organic peppercorn. Oh no, this isn't organic pepper. This is what am I saying? So if you like geez, the name escapes me now. Cilantro, good with in Indian dishes. But when you let it go to seed, the seeds aren't called. They're not called cilantro seeds. Oops. Oh. Jeez. Are you able to see? Oh. Sort of a. I don't know how to explain it. Almost like a. It's hard to tell what it smells like. Yarrow. So it's like the yarrow that I showed you before on its stem and the flower. This one is not. It's been I guess picked or processed somewhat. Oh, the seeds. So it's called coriander. The seeds of cilantro is called coriander. So to use that, you can either throw it in whole into whatever you have, or grind it in mortar and pestle. And if you're ever going to have a mortar and pestle, get a really rough one. I do have white ones too, like the ones that everybody has from sort of like a IKEA kind of store, and I'm looking around and I don't see it anywhere on that other shelf. But they're too smooth, and whereas these ones, more natural, really heavy natural stones, and you can, every time you go around, it's deep enough that stuff don't jump out, and they really, with every turn, they get more and more ground. So sorry, I forgot to tell you about the coriander, but I remembered to tell you anyway later. So let's go way up now. Here we have nettle. So I already showed you nettle in a smaller jar for your allergies or high in vitamin C. That's that. And this one is mint. Okay, so what do I do with this? In the summertime, you can make, obviously you can make tea out of these. Most people do that. And it's very cooling. You can use that. You can make a shampoo out of them. My personal favorite is that in the summertime, I crumble, these are dry, or if you have fresh, into yogurt with a finely chopped cucumber. Mix them all together. It's really cooling. Sometimes you can even put raisins in them. Really cooling as a topping, or I use it to as a dip for my chips. What do we have here? Nettles, more nettles. Oh, it's upside down. Well, I still can't read it. Oh, blackberry. See how runny it is? You can even make a stain out of that, but this is good to make as a sort of a. So you get your water and you add this, so it gives it a beautiful, brilliant color. If you don't like, some people don't like to drink water straight. I don't. I love it. But if you don't, you can have this as an infuse. More nettle. And by the way, nettle, when it's even fresh, with garlic, butter, and some onions, just to fry them on the side as a side dish, just like a little bit. It's really good. Try it, or not. But I'm just saying that's how some people like it. Blackberry, because we have our blackberry bushes patch is so big that sometimes we give these away to our friends, anyone that comes to visit us, guests. We charge money for people to come and stay with us, but after that they become friends and they get these things for free. So this doesn't say what it is, but I'm pretty sure it's calendula. I'll bring it over to you. Just a minute. I have a video on this, on how to make your own calendula oil. Of course, you have to, the best if you can have an organic patch somewhere, obviously away from the traffic. So I harvest them, I process them, they sit in the jar till I'm ready to add organic olive oil to it, and then they sit and wait till such time that we're ready to homemade pickles, to add beeswax to them. This is just pickles, pickling, mix maybe organic peppercorns or our own organic garlic. Just nothing really special, hard to make anyway. Going up. Oh, take my glasses with me while I'm down there. No label, but it is sunflower petals. So now this is probably old, too old, because it's faded a lot. This is probably 2 years old. Sage. This should have gone. I should put this with the rest of the sage. But I showed you what sage leaves looks like and what the uses are. Ceremonial, detoxifying air. Evening primrose. Evening primrose. This is just the oil now. It's been strained, so it's hard to tell with the label. The gorgeous yellow color. It's like a really natural olive oil color, and then this is just waiting to be mixed with beeswax. Orange peels. You can infuse them like right now if you want to freshen up the scent in your house with just a pot of water, not necessarily boiling. You just throw this in there and it'll smell like fresh oranges. This is just dehydrated. My old antique coffee grinder, which we use for anything, like flax seeds or whatever that we want to grind. This one is thick, so black currants. These are obviously, not obviously, all black currant. Here we have more orange peels. Really, this is free. You buy oranges, it comes with the peel. You don't even have to. We can't obviously grow it here, but you can also make tea out of this and drink it. Try it one time. Instead of throwing your orange peels out, try keeping them and drying them. Don't see, this wasn't labeled. Oh, it is labeled. Evening primrose. So this is also waiting. This looks like it was already processed. Like this is the spent, like after olive oil has been drained out of it. So this can go into compost, or if you have chickens, to your chickens. Comfrey 2020. I don't know how much longer it can stay, but it hasn't faded in color yet. Nettles. More nettles. Nettles are really good and they grow really fast here. They're like weed. Most people even consider them weed, but it's really potent and amazing and great. Also nettles. Okay, so what's in these boxes? Well, gold, treasures. No, actually, let me calm down. So these, folks, are our treasures. This is what we make. These are the finished products of those salves that I showed you. So this one in particular is Calendula 24, March 24. Oh, it smells so good. And it's good for, you look that up. This is also Calendula, same year. So this is the kind of thing that we give to our guests or friends when they come to visit. The cost is, processing them in organic olive oil, organic beeswax, which we get from an Amish family. We buy, get anything for free, and they're an hour away from us. This is just a tea caddy that everybody really has. I don't want to advertise for the people, but just when we have guests over, they get to choose the kind of tea that they want to drink. Like for instance, in a couple of days when we have our gathering, and Folks, I'm looking around and it looks like that is it. So yeah, I hope the mystery is solved now. When you're wondering, those of you who are asking what's all behind me, I mean, we have more on that other shelf above the sink, but I think you've had enough for the day, huh? And if you haven't, check out the other videos. There's no commercials or ads here. I mean, I've asked YouTube not to have it. If you see any commercials or ads, it's not because I did anything. It's just all the revenue goes to that. We don't get a single penny. That's why if donations are welcome, anyone coming to visit us. We have land for sale for those of you who are looking. Yeah, that's all for now. You can try your hands at some of these herbs and salves and lotions. It's not difficult. There's a cost. Now you kind of get an idea of when you go to a store, when you see something that costs whatever, you know what's gone into it once you make your own. But it is the best way to do it is when you make your own anything. But I know that not everybody has the opportunity to, and I mean, here we've made sacrifices to be here to have that. So we've given up some things to have this. So I suppose nobody has everything. Anyway, that's all for today. Be good to yourselves and let me know what you thought of this video or what else you want to see. Namaste.